Cool. I guess I could raise it a bit. To all who come to this toasty stream, welcome. Hi, Tulip, thanks for raiding. And Leo, nice to see you. CB went to the bathroom. I wish I could figure out why I can't hear my stickers. This audio monitor is not working. That's okay. Loser, yes, his loss. That's okay though. Yeah, I can't hear the stickers for some reason. I can see that they're working on your end, but I guess that's something I'll figure out later. I also forgot. I wanted to use my cat ear module today, but I don't have a mouse version for that, so we're sticking with the horns for now. Anyways. Testing. kick. I say toasty stream because it has been quite warm today where I am. It's suddenly like summer weather, mid-80s. Next week it'll hit the 90s for the first time this year, so not looking forward to that. Welcome to hell. You're in the hell with your 103 degree weather. 45 degrees is nice. Maybe not nice, but it's been pretty cool in the morning and evening. It's just midday it hikes up to like low 80s. Ooh, you do morning runs? Good for you. Yeah, that sounds like nice and brisk. Yeah, keep it up. Goodness. So I was debating on streaming Monday, but I was way too tired, so I saved it for today. I skipped streaming altogether this past weekend, because I was at FanimeCon. Woo! It worked out perfectly. I had Friday and Monday off, both for Memorial Day from work, so I could reserve a 4-day pass like months in advance, along with a hotel room. So I got to enjoy all 4 days at the con with some friends. So I'm gonna share some photos and videos with you guys here. I have the official FanimeCon website pulled up here, but I don't know why it's like perpetually loading. There wasn't an image here last time I checked, but yeah. I don't know where to start there. At the start there was so much. I guess I should give some context first, and then we'll dive into the photos. So yeah, feel free to lurk if you're doing something else. I do have some neat photos, so maybe pop back in if you feel like it. For the most part, you can just listen to my soothing voice. So yeah, FanimeCon 2024 happened from May 24th through the 27th. That's the Friday to the Monday, Memorial Day weekend. It took place in the San Jose Convention Center area, so not only did they take up the ground level and second level of the convention center, they also tied up with nearby hotel called Signia, called the Signia Hotel. They also had the hangar right behind the convention center. It was called the South Hall. And like 10-15 minutes away there was a hotel called the Doubletree Hotel, where they also had a few things to do. I will mention that later. But yeah, since I figured out that my vacation schedule lined up with this con, I reserved the Holiday Inn, which happens to be on the way to my work office, where I sometimes go into work, so I had no problem getting there. It was like along my commute. It felt weird. But I reserved a room there, even though I live in San Jose, just because I figured it'd be easier to get to and from the convention that way. How many people did I confuse with my address? I think it was the one I noticed was just one, and that was one of the vendors at the artist alley. I think it was like a Chinese dude, but he had like beautiful art based on Nintendo IPs, and I really loved his stuff, so I bought a good number of posters and stuff. But yeah, he addressed me as sir. I didn't think of it much in the moment, but after I finished buying his stuff, I turned to my friend and I was like, I think that guy just called me a sir. Sir Nana, yeah. That was the day I wasn't in costume, surprisingly enough. I was just wearing my usual anime tee and like PS2 logo hoodie, so I wasn't even cross-dressing that day, and they called me sir. Oh, hey, Denishu. Welcome. Oh, I didn't realize you were part of CB's raid. That's awesome. Welcome. Yeah, the androgyny was funny. So yeah, I booked a room at the Holiday Inn and invited some friends. I invited my friend Marley, who lives in North Las Vegas. You were lurking / shy away. Yeah, that's fair. I'm glad you said hi for me, though. Always nice to see you. You two get called sir, even if you're not cross-dressing. That's quite the surprise. Good for you, I guess. So Marley flew in from the Vegas area, and then a couple friends from San Francisco drove over. Their names are Alex and Tyler. They both go by he, him. Marley is she, her. So Marley is my cosplay waifu. We've done a bunch of partner cosplays, typically where I'm the male character and she does the female character. So we've been going to a number of cons together since college days. So considering this FanimeCon was the first FanimeCon for each of us, and also the first con since the pandemic started, I was like, I need to have my cosplay waifu here with me, and she was down, so luckily she joined me. I invited Alex just because I remembered him talking about him wanting to get back into the con scene, like doing more weeb shit, so I was like, you could join our hotel room, that way we can split the bill even more. Waifu, yes, I am her cosplay husbando. And then since the room had two queen beds, 2 double beds, I think. I told Alex he could bring one more if he wanted, and so he invited his high school friend Tyler, who is really into VTubers apparently. So it was just a bunch of weebs in a room. But the overall schedule was, I got off work on Thursday at 5 or so, and so I was able to check into the hotel before everybody else. And then the other 3 would join me on the Friday. We spent the rest of Saturday and Sunday together, and then Marley would fly out on Monday, so it was quite the adventure. Government-appointed cosplay waifu husbando. Yes. Assigned cosplay husbando at birth. That's a long abbreviation. But yeah, I guess I'll just get started then. So this was the Thursday. This is day 0, technically. A jab! I guess that wasn't as bad as I thought. Stairs! Yay, stairs! We love stairs. That's not true. This is the hotel of the Holiday Inn. It looks much bigger in this photo, but it wasn't quite that impressive in person. White people! I've never seen those before. Gosh, I always enjoy going into hotels, going in and out of hotels for cons, especially while I'm in cosplay, because people look at you funny like, is there a Halloween party going on? Is there a masquerade? Why are these people dressed up in weird stuff? But yeah, this Holiday Inn, pretty run-of-the-mill Holiday Inn hotel. This was our room. The beds were smaller than I would have liked, but the biggest problem was the number of outlets. I guess the building was an older one because it had very few outlets. Like, there were 2 on the bedside lamp on the nightstand, and then there was like 1 more on the lamp by the desk. And there was an outlet behind the headboard on one of the beds, but it was very little space to squeeze a USB adapter in there, so that was a bit of a problem fitting 4 adults with each with at least 2 electric devices. Should totally start singing some Disney songs and pretend there's an even. Yeah, you know, probably. So yeah, I had the room all to myself on Thursday night. You can see I put my luggage down. And Thursday, the registration desk was open from like 7 to 10 or so. So as soon as I put my stuff down, hung up my costumes before they would get wrinkly, I grabbed my bag and headed to the convention center. It was supposed to be like less than a 10-minute drive, but Google Maps has been acting up lately for some reason, so it took me down a really weird route, making lots of turns down small alleys. I feel like I could have taken fewer turns, but to my surprise, also the parking garage in the convention center was practically full. Like, it took me several minutes to find a parking spot that wasn't a compact car spot, even though the con hadn't officially started yet. So I was like, wow, this is gonna be a packed event. If Thursday is already this full, oh, I can't imagine people having to drive in and park on Friday and Saturday especially. But yeah, this was the ground level. What you see in the yellow caution tape, it would be the day pass line. So they blocked out that whole stretch of hallway to make a line for people coming in on the weekend to buy a day pass, like the day of. So yeah, they were prepared, to say the least. But like I said, I had my pass reserved, so I went to the reserved pass area, and this was cool. That's like a TSA line. Yeah, exactly. They really had the tape like all organized, all ready and set up. But in the pre-registered room, they had a bunch of tables like these set up with laptops, and a staff member was standing at the end of each table. And all you had to do was pull out the email that you got the day before, which contains a QR code, and all you had to do was scan the QR code with the attached scanner, or if that didn't work, you could type in your order number and then it would check you in instantaneously. And that prints out a badge with your name on it, and the staff member at the end of the table will hand you that. So I know it was the most organized and efficient registration line I had ever seen at any con. It was effortless. I was in and out in minutes. And then once you grab your badge, on the way out of the room there was a table with the free lanyard and goodie bag that contained a little booklet version of the program and the bigger program pamphlet for the whole event. So I was amazed. I thought it would take longer than that, but I was just in and out. Still remember how they used to have people sitting outside and hand out the badge. Oh man. So that was a previous FanimeCon. I'm used to like something like OhioCon or Anime Weekend Atlanta, where you had to stand in line to wait for the staff member sitting at the desk to check you in. Like, they had to look up your last name on the list and give you the badge, and then you'd have to walk and grab the lanyard and goodies. That's what they used to do. Okay, then this must be a pretty recent development then, because I've never done this before. I loved it though. And when I mentioned this to Alex, he was like, oh yeah, most big cons do this nowadays. And I was like, I thought you weren't going to cons lately? How do you know this? Yeah, check your ID and stuff. Exactly. None of that. It was just QR code, grab and go. That kind of rhymed. They totally should do that more. I really loved it. I wanted to check out the convention center a bit more to get familiar with the area, but since the event hadn't actually started, nothing was open. So instead I stopped by the nearest supermarket to grab some water bottles for the room and a salad to eat for dinner that day and like some granola bars for breakfast, because I thought the Holiday Inn had complimentary breakfast, but they didn't. And I'm the kind of person who needs to have something in the morning to function, so I grabbed some emergency granola bars. Oh no, yeah. They had a breakfast buffet, but it was $18 per person, and I didn't think that was worth it. Also, time is of the essence when you're going to get into cosplay and attend a panel or two at a convention, so there's really not much leeway for a sit-down breakfast buffet. Your something in the morning is just coffee. That's not the best idea, but I think at least have a glass of water before your coffee. $18 for a hotel brekkie is insane. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Even if it is a buffet, I don't think I could get my money's worth back in like scrambled eggs and toast. So yeah, that day, alright. Once I got back to the hotel, I decided to read through the program just to see if I missed anything. That's when I realized that this year was FanimeCon's 30th anniversary, so it was no wonder they're so organized and they know what they're doing. It's their 30th time doing this. So I was like, yeah, this is definitely a reliable con. It's gonna be pretty organized and structured and safe. You love the way I named my pick, Day 0.4? Well, yeah, I like to have my photos in order, so I wanted to have a system. FurryCon when? Funny you say that. There was a FurryCon in San Jose recently. My husband's employee went there because he's a furry, apparently. Yeah, that maybe you could go to that, Leo. I won't be attending, but... so yeah, happy 30th to the FanimeCon staff. No thanks, that's fair. I usually go to bed past like 11:30, but that day I somehow had a mild headache going on, so I decided to go to bed early. And so that was day 0. You want your sense of smell to stay intact. I don't know. I don't particularly think furry cons would be that as bad as like a regular weeb con. I don't know. Fursuits are a whole. Oh, I've been petted. Thank you. Wow, you nailed it. Is the aiming fixed? Or did you just get that much better? I'm impressed. Alright. So that was Thursday night. Yeah, I know you can place the sticker, but the aiming was off. Can I imagine all the sweat in the fursuits? Yeah, I'd rather not. God, it's... I have mad respect for the furries, no doubt. Like, the amount of money and dedication they put into those suits, I could never. Eee, I've been patted! Oh my gosh, I'm being so many pats, yay! You think the aiming is only messed up on CB stream? Oh, really? That's weird. Why? Is it because you have custom stickers and I don't? Mine is accurate. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Slap away. Pat away, everybody. No, don't pat the staff member. Okay, maybe do pat the staff member. They did a great job. What was my next photo? I can't remember. Alright, so this was the badge and the little baggie. I loved the art they did for this year. The theme was Grand Prix. I've been bonked. Don't save that for later. But yeah, the theme this year was Grand Prix, like a racing theme. So it was actually called the Fan Prix, FanimeCon Fan Prix. Oh my god. But yeah, I learned later, once Marley got there, they had two versions of this badge art. So I got the girl version, and then she happened to get the guy version. Pretty neat, pretty good art. Alright, so this is my beloved Ita bag, my Kaito themed Ita bag. I've been working on this for like 2 years now. And I decided this is the perfect opportunity to make use of it. So I had this on my back every day during the con. The year your hubby and you had super nice illustrations too. Nice. That's awesome. Kaito jump scare. That's not a jump scare. All the Kaito merch that exist in the world in one bag. Yeah, you're telling me. I tried to make a point not to buy fan-made merch, so this is all official merch that is in here. There would be more there, but nowadays it's really just acrylic standees, and like keychains, which I don't actually collect. I prefer having pins and buttons because they take up less space, and you can easily attach them to most surfaces. But I will go ahead and say this bag actually got some good amount of attention. I was very happy. There were people who loved that it was Kaito themed. There were a number of people who actually loved the blue fairy lights that I added in there. And then there was one pair of like a mom and daughter who asked me how I installed the lights, and so I gave them a little quick yes, pat the Kaito. Good Kaito. Yeah, I got to give them a little tutorial, like a inside look in this bag as to how I set up the lights, and gave them some tips. So yeah, all my money and hard work definitely paid off here. So this was my bag for the weekend, and I don't know if it was the big water bottle that I kept in this bag, or it was all the merch weighing me down, but my shoulders were so sore after each day. My love for Kaito was quite painful, I guess. Alright. So, Friday morning, I actually woke up with ease at like 7 in the morning, as I usually do. I do have my alarm set at 7 every day. Part of love, yes. Love is sometimes painful. And then around 9, Marley landed in San Jose Airport, so I went to go pick her up with my car, which was super easy because Holiday Inn is like a 5-minute drive from the airport. And went back to the hotel. Nothing really major started at the con until 2 p.m., so that gave us ample time to get ready into our costumes, which I will show in a minute. And yeah, she talked about all the crazy stuff that her coworkers have been doing lately, and fun times. I also got to tell her, explain to her what the Cybertruck is and why it's so bad. I don't know how she hasn't heard about the Cybertruck until that point, but I had the honor of giving her the rundown and saying, like, maybe you'll see one while you're in San Jose. Beyond terrible truck. Yes, absolutely. I've been seeing a lot more Cybertrucks in person frequently lately, actually, even though they've been recalled. You hadn't heard of it until CB mentioned it on a stream. That's kind of surprising to me. It's like all over TikTok. And I know you're on TikTok, Tulip. I don't expect Cybertrucks to be running around as much in Ohio, though. The C in Cybertruck stands for Karen. Yeah, you're not totally addicted to TikTok. No, of course not. Yeah, I've been seeing more and more Cybertrucks lately. Like the other day, I actually found one parked in the parking garage next to my office. And it was in the way. Because you know how, like, in a parking garage, you typically go up a ramp to the next level to find more parking? and they have parking spots all along that ramp. The Cybertruck was parked in one of those ramp spots, and it was sticking out, so it kind of was in the way of the right side lane, and I was like having to swerve around it to get up the floor. So I don't know why that thing is so ungodly huge. It doesn't have that big of a bed. You think you've seen one from a distance in San Antonio? Oh, that's a surprise. Plenty of Tesla models. Yeah, God, I'm so tired of seeing Teslas around, and they're always bad drivers. Tesla drivers can't drive. To compensate for something else. I don't know, I guess? I feel like the compensating types would go for the man trucks, like the gigantic trucks. Cybertruck is just Elon fanboy. Anyways, enough about the Cybertruck. San Antonio has more lifted trucks, and it's so annoying. Oh god, yeah, those are the man trucks that I'm talking about. Can't stand those. So yeah, it took Marley and I, fanboy, and trying to compensate for. Okay, yeah, that might be right. I guess knock 2 birds with 1 stone. By the time Marley and I were done getting into our cosplays, it was around 1 p.m. But thank goodness for this, but Friday and Saturday, the highs in the temperatures was 65 degrees. That's like unheard of for May, but it was perfect for cosplayers, so I was like so relieved. It was amazing. Perfect weather. But yeah, once we got to the another cool thing about how this con was organized, FanimeCon was officially partnering with several hotels in the downtown area, so not only the Marriott and the Hilton attached to the convention center, but also Doubletree and the Holiday Inn where we were at. And those were all connected by free shuttle buses that ran from 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. every day during the con, so that was awesome. I hate driving, and paying for parking at the convention center is expensive if you're gonna stay there all day, so thank God for the shuttles. Yeah, grabbed Marley's badge. She also pre-reg, so it was a breeze. And we were just kind of killing time until 2 p.m. So we were exploring the convention center, checked out the manga lounge just to see what they had. Didn't actually read anything, it was all in English. And we took a little break on the balcony area where there were tables set up. And this picture is the game room. So this was an insanely big room, but it was well air conditioned, rightfully so, because they had a corner packed with arcade consoles, arcade game cabinets. They had PC games lined up. They also had indie game developers there to talk about their products, which I thought was cool. And they had a little tabletop game corner, so you could rent out a board game and play with some people. So any kind of game was in this room, and they all had such long waits that we could not be bothered to line up and play. So we hadn't actually touched anything in this room this whole weekend. I would have loved to play Taiko no Tatsujin, but that one of course had a pretty long wait every day. Was there a card game corner? I believe so. Not that I was paying close attention, but I do remember there were some game tournaments as well. They had Smash Bros, of course. There was a Guilty Gear Strive tournament I wanted to see, but ended up not being able to catch. You would have been fucking it up on Shindidom. I don't remember if they had that one. They used to have that and a retro game station too. Ooh. It's kind of sad to think that something like Wii is considered a retro game now. How time flies. But yeah, finally hit 2 p.m. so we were able to hit up the dealer's room first. This was towards one of the entrances. Makes it feel, I know, makes you feel old. Think of how it makes me feel old, God. Oh, I gotta mention, one of the things that Marley and I really loved about the security for this con was where they set up badge checkpoints. Because it makes you feel even older, yeah. Let's not think about it too much. Time will move on. So like previously at like OhioCon, for example, yes, all the Gunplas. So at a con, something like OhioCon, they set up security, like staff members, to check your attendee badge at the door per panel and shopping area. So if you wanted to go into the vendor dealer's room, you had to show your badge and then go in. Or if you wanted to check out Artist Alley, same deal, show your badge at the door. Instead of doing that for FanimeCon, since they set it up, so I really should have had the map here, but since they set it up in a way that had the panel rooms on the lower level and then all the shopping and games and stuff on the upper level, they set up a checkpoint in front of the stairwells. So once you get past that checkpoint, you could enter any room as you pleased easily, and it really helped with traffic flow as well. It didn't congest at the doorways and cause like a fire hazard in the hallway, you know? So I thought that was awesome. It was very convenient. Again, with 30 years of experience, they really knew what they were doing. You don't know if it's sad that you can tell me all the ones that are on top. Seriously? You mean these? Whoops. Holy shit, dude, how can you see that? It does say Mark II and stuff, though. Oh, hi, Tsuki. You heard people just bypass that check by going through the elevator. Oh, yeah, that was something I wondered. If you had, like, a wheelchair, or you just didn't want to take the stairs, or you were unable to, you really didn't have to do the security check. Perfect grade with Gundam. Mega size RX-78. Unicorn? Unicorn. I only see the OG up here. But yeah, I think this was one of the gun plastic model vendors. There was another big one towards the back. But needless to say, Marley was already going all out on her shopping here. I tried not to go too crazy, but look at these dice. They have a great selection of Gundam. Oh yeah, you were building on stream, I heard. Third one to the right is the perfect grade unicorn. Third one to the right. Oh, that one. God, that looks like a beast to build. But yeah, this was a really cool dice vendor. They also had like blank notebooks and stuff that had beautiful pleather covers with like gold and silver foil patterns on it. Marley could not resist and ended up buying a dice set that was liquid core, pink and purple with like purple glitter lettering. Very pretty, very Marley aesthetic. But if you look closely, the jars, they have dice in them, but each one is themed to a character. So like the ones in front, these 6 are Demon Slayer themed. The next ones are Naruto. I think there was like, these are Avatar, The Last Airbender themed, and then like Legend of Zelda on the end here. So I thought it was so clever. Oh, that's the One Piece one right there in the middle with the straw hat charm. Yeah, I wished they had a character that I actually loved. Otherwise, I would have totally bought one of these, but alas, I'm not a basic bitch. Marley ended up getting a dice set and a notebook, I believe. And then this one, oh my gosh. These are vinyl soundtracks for Ghibli movies. I was drooling over these ones. I really wanted the Nausicaa one towards the back there. They saved you some money, I guess they did. Unless I check their website and they have something. Then my wallet is in danger. But yeah, the ones in front, that's Princess Kaguya. Got Howl and Mononoke. Kiki. They had a random Godzilla one in the back there. You would not be able to hesitate buying this, right? I was so amazed that they had these. Too bad I don't have a record player for them, but oh, that was exciting. Although Marley spotted that they had a copy of the opening song to Oshinoko. The song is called Idol by... oh, I'm blank. YOASOBI. And it just so happened that that was their last copy at that booth, so she really lucked out there. Collect for now, play later. That's some smart thinking, but I didn't want to carry around this big vinyl for the rest of the day. So I decided not to touch those. Oh yeah, and for some reason they had the vendor's room directly connected to the other half of this hall, which was set up as a food court. And I say food court, but it was really just like a few food stalls set up across from the vendors' booths, and there were tables with lots of seating, so we decided to eat before we forgot to do that, so we got loaded hot dogs. This one was the shoyu flavor, which is soy sauce. You got a Daft Punk vinyl from Japan just because you felt it was a great chance. Really painful to fly back to the oof. Yeah, thank God I didn't have to worry about luggage damage or like weight limits. I could just drive. Take two. Yeah, Marley wanted to try 2 flavors, so I offered to buy both, and then we split each. So this was the shoyu flavor, which means soy sauce. But it really wasn't soy sauce. It tasted like teriyaki sauce. It was a sweet and savory, like a salty flavor, in addition to the mayonnaise drizzle with the shredded nori, seaweed. Oh, hi, Mantis. Welcome. Talking about weeb shit here. You protected that vinyl with your life. Okay, but did you do it on... Did you do it as carry-on then? Because that probably would have been the safer idea. Can't trust TSA to not knock around your luggage. Okay, Leah, let's not say that. Okay, yeah, carry on. That's much safer. Good idea. Yeah, I really like this hot dog. It was much better than I expected. I was worried that the soy sauce would be too much, but it was a bit sweeter than you would expect. And this was the Kurobuta hot dog. Kurobuta means black pig, so it was like a brand bacon bits on top. We getting Degen, yes. We're all Degens here, you know that. My fans are called Degens collectively. This hot dog wasn't as good just because there wasn't a whole lot going on in the flavor profile. We got tired of it pretty quickly, and it was just salt. But yeah, good for the price. I think it was at this point we left the vendor's room and then ran into... Yeah, salt on top of salt, exactly. The mayonnaise helped even it out a bit, but it was just like a very steady stream of bacon. You can't go wrong with bacon, but there is a point where you say this is too much bacon. Good for the price at a con, yeah, exactly. $15 for the hot dog. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't that bad. Daily bacon limit, yeah, truly. I only had half of this hot dog and it boosted my sodium intake for the day. I think it was at this point we left the dealer's room and ran into a cosplayer who's dressed as a Winx character, if anybody remembers that cartoon. And they were super hyped that Marley and I were dressed as characters from a magical girl anime called Shugokara. She was the main character, Marley was the main character, Amu, and I was the villain, Ikuto. But this cosplayer was like, oh my gosh, your guys' costumes are so amazing! Are you guys coming to the Magical Girl Gathering at 4 outside? And Marley went, there's a Magical Girl Gathering? Like, she got super excited, and I double-checked the official FanimeCon app, because it has a built-in schedule where you can bookmark events for later. And I checked my favorites, and I was like, oh shit, I did bookmark that gathering, so... We were like, hell yeah, let's do it, why not? So, just kind of dicked around and headed to the gathering at 4 outside. Hot dogs outside the con used to cost $5, now they're like 10, 12. Rather buy inside. Ugh. Yeah, I hate that inflation affecting everything nowadays. Let's see. Alright. I took a bunch of pictures, but I narrowed it down a bit for y'all. So, how cosplay gatherings typically work. There's one organizer who calls the shots, and there's the cosplayers who join in for the photos. So the guy in green on the left you see here, that was the organizer for the Magical Girl Gathering. And most gatherings start off with a group photo, so all the cosplayers are in the one shot, and then they start calling out different categories, like, if you're from this team, come up for photos, and then they count to 10 to pose, and then they say, pose number 2, and once they change poses, they count to 10 again, and then they'll call out a new category. So yeah, after the first group photo, they called out the Western Magical Girls, which was this, which, like, including the Winx cosplayer. So yeah, the far right cosplayer, that's the one that invited us to the gathering. And then we went by color, so this was the red Magical Girls. We only had Mars, Sailor Mars. She looked really cute. Sailor Mars was always my favorite. This is the yellow, or orange rather. That's a Daisy cosplay on the right. She wasn't originally in the group, but the organizer spotted her sitting on the steps in front of us and beckoned her over, and I think she looked great. There's the green. I have to zoom in on these two because, oh my gosh, they were gorgeous. The left is Sailor Saturn with all the detailing. I really loved how she added like the astrology signs on the skirt. Very glittery. But, oh, Daisy Best Princess. Oh, that's right, you're a Daisy stan, I forgot. But look at Sailor Mexico on the right. She's so cute with the street corn on the staff. Oh my gosh. I think her eyeshadow was also the Mexican flag colors. Oh, it's so cute. Loved it. Might have been my favorite cosplay of that day. You really should have gone this time. Was going to go to Offkai, then your plans fell apart. I can't speak. Oh, you were the one who mentioned Offkai. The one friend, Tyler, who tagged along with us to this event, he is also going to Offkai. And I was like, I remember somebody mentioning Offkai. It was you, Tsuki. Yeah, I think you missed out. This FanimeCon was fantastic. I at least had a blast. Here are the blue ones. Surprisingly, a lot of blue ones. And the one in the middle here, that's Marley, dressed as Amulet Spade from Shugokara. She, impressively enough, made that entire outfit, including the prop. Yeah, maybe next year we can go together, Tsuki. And these are the pink ones. Everybody wants to be the pink one because that's typically the main character. I used to have a Madoka costume. Had to retire that one, but maybe I'll do a different magical girl. Pank! Yeah. They had... And then they started calling out, like, villains, which I was a part of, but I don't think Marley got that photo, unfortunately, so I don't have that. There were only 3 of us, though. It was me from Shigokara, and then one guy with impressive wings from Mermaid Melody, and the villain from Tokyo Mew Mew. I don't know the name of. And then we went by show, so this is Sailor Scouts, and Madoka Magica. There's the Tokyo Mew Mew, and that's the villain right there in the middle. And this was the Soul Powerpuff Girls Z cosplayer. I really loved the wig, it was so cute. And there's the Mermaid Melody crew. This was impressive. Marley and I were like, man, Mermaid Melody was like the least expected group here, but they looked great. There is us. Since we were the only Shigokara characters, they bunched us in with the Cardcaptor Sakura cosplayer. Like, we were the minority, so they just put us all together. That's why we were there. But I am quite proud of how this turned out, because I made that jacket in a week right before this con. Like, literally, I started the Thursday before I came in to the hotel on Thursday. But I think it turned out pretty good for how rushed it was. Yeah, I made the armband as well. Thank you. Surprised there's not a ton of Cardcaptor, right? Yeah. There were a couple more Cardcaptor cosplayers later in the con, just not that day. But yeah, that coat, I'm very proud of. It had pockets, pretty deep pockets, saved my life. I added inner lining, and it had that collar, which I added fur to, so like it was a proper jacket. And it wasn't that bad, actually. I had quite a lot of fun making it, so pockets always needed. Yeah, we love a functional cosplay. The ears, which surprisingly nobody commented on, but those ears I bought off of Etsy from a creator. They're beautiful. My only complaint was that the clips on the underside were a little too small, so the outer edges kind of floated off my head, but beautiful, really easy and sturdy to use ears. Highly recommend. Looks really hot. It wasn't that hot, surprisingly, especially because I had a fake shirt on underneath, so it was just my binder, which was very breathable, and then like the dolly, what's it called? Like, it's not a full white shirt, it's just the collar with a few buttons. So I was practically wearing a tank top underneath. That really helped. And again, the high was only 65, so it was actually really pleasant outside. But yeah, that was the minorities. This was Panty and Stocking. When is season 2 happening again? I remember that being announced. And that's the Dark Magician Girl. Some people were like, is Dark Magician Girl considered a magical girl? And I was like, yeah. Last weekend was really good weather. Would have been terrible if it was this weekend. Poor off-kite people. I know. That's what I'm saying. I was like, we really lucked out with the weather. It was perfect for cosplay. It's in the name. Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, she's a magician girl. Of course she counts. And I don't recognize this character, but it's definitely an older one. Something along the lines of like Creamy Mommy. But looks cute. And then towards the end, they all lined up by release date. So to the left were the older ones, and then it got newer. Looks familiar, right? Yeah, I'm sure it would show up if I looked it up somehow, but yeah, that gathering was surprisingly fun. And right after that, I wanted to hit up the sports anime gathering, so we moved. These were a couple Genshin cosplayers that we spotted. They looked really good. I don't play Genshin, but I do recognize these from Anxiety's stream, so. Oh, it is Creamy Mommy. Wow. Huh, I thought she had a different outfit, but alright, nailed it. OGs of the OG. Magical girl stam. But yeah, at 5... Oh, her normal form. Okay, got it. Then I must be thinking of her magical girl form. Nice. Yeah, that person really had a deep cut. At 5, there was a sports anime gathering, and like the majority was Haikyuu. Here's the Karasuno team. Really, I really wish they would have steamed that flag. It would have looked better, but I'm kind of surprised that there was only one Hinata, which is the orange-haired dude. He's the main character. I feel like most years at cons, there's several Hinatas, but that person with the DS though, yeah, that's Kenma. Very young character. I really loved it. This is the Nekoma team. It's very evident that nobody cares about most Nekoma characters except for Kuro and Kenma. Which is fair, because that's my OTP from Haikyuu as well. And this was like a little action scene. I kind of liked this picture. Is that part of the costume? Yes, it is. Kenma is an introvert. He's a gamer, and he was kind of dragged into high school volleyball by his childhood friend, Kuro. You remember collecting puzzle pieces on your 3DS at cons? Oh, yeah, street passing. God, I did that once at OhioCon when I was wearing my Francisca von Karma cosplay. That was fun. There were some interesting Miis, like a knockoff Lonk from Pennsylvania. Oh yeah, that was all I took from that sports gathering because I really didn't care about Blue Lock or Yowamushi Pedal. But check out this Dungeon Meshi cosplay. Oh, Switch 2 Street Pass, man. Yeah, honestly, that would be pretty cool. What were we doing? Oh, that's right. We were heading back inside to check out the artist alley this time, and this is the group I spotted on the way there. I really didn't realize this was a group. I only saw Senshi, the guy on the far left, from behind, and I had already spotted this cosplayer earlier in the vendor's room, so I was like, now's my chance! And I ran up and I was like, Senshi! Can I please take your photo? And that's when I last minute realized that Marcel, the elf right next to him, was also in cosplay, so I was like, oh, can I take your guys' picture? And then the other two turned around and joined us like, oh, this is a whole group. That's fine. I feel like Senshi really outshone the rest of them. Panty shot daddy. Exactly, got it. Ugh. That's the only kind of fan service we need. Yeah, saved. Not totally by accident, but... Well, CP and I were debating whether this walk is actually metal or not. I want your guys' input. Because it has wooden handles. But, like, there's no way he would lug around something that heavy for the whole con, you know? Looks real. Looks like a real walk. I don't know. Looks real to you. Might be a lighter metal. Inside looks real shiny. I don't know, man. Especially considering that each entrance into the convention center had metal detectors, that would have been kind of a bitch to deal with, I guess. I guess I should have asked in the moment, but props to these people, they looked awesome. Went into the artist alley, which is, as everybody knows, where you spend the most money. Marley was susceptible to all the pretty art. I also fell for a good number of posters. You wonder how much of the con security are weebs. I don't think a lot of them were. Like, they were actually middle-aged people. I'd say like 40s and 50s. Yeah, they really didn't have any of the younger staff at the security gates, so I highly doubt they were weebs of any level. I forget what my next picture was. Oh yeah, this was inside Artist Alley. Marley was buying something, and then this free rent cosplayer noticed her outfit, and Marley turned around and she's like, I have Ikto with me too, and free rent was like, Ikto was my high school crush, and she showed her Ikto keychain attached to her phone, and I was like, oh shit, look at that. They could be older weebs. I guess that's true, yeah. Never say never. So yeah, we took a selfie, and this cosplayer kindly shared the photos with Marley, because iPhones can do airdrop. I want to also mention, for this Ikuto cosplay, I tried out taping for the first time, so before putting on the wig, I used some medical tape to pull my eyes and eyebrows upward, and also my cheeks, so that it would give me a sharper look, like cat eyes. And I think it really worked. I was kind of surprised that they lasted the whole day. I was afraid they would loosen halfway through the day, but it worked. Yes, Kitty Nana. That's why I wanted to wear my cat ear module for this stream, but I don't have the mouse version. I only have the game controller version. Was it not too uncomfortable? It felt weird at first, but since I wrapped the tape behind the wig cap, like all the way around my skull, it was evenly distributing that pressure in it. After a while, I didn't really notice it. But yeah, I think it worked out. I'm still laughing that CB thought I was holding an avocado here. That's an egg. I made it out of modeling clay and painted it with white paint. But I guess it is avocado sized. Snack. No, don't eat this. Don't eat the fake egg. Free shavakadu. At that point, it was past 6:30, so Marley and I took a quick breather on the balcony again to organize our findings from the artist alley and stuff. And that's when I mentioned that there was something called a night market at the Doubletree Hotel that was a bit of a drive from the convention center, but it was going on daily during the event from like 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. So we decided to go back to our hotel room, take a shower and freshen up and get out of costume to check out the night market. But as we were leaving the hotel, Tyler and Alex happened to arrive. They were hoping to pick up their pre-registered badges as well, but the registration time had already closed, so they couldn't pick up their badges that day. You missed the night market too? Yeah. I didn't know that was a thing. I haven't been to any cons with a night market, so we really didn't know what to expect. But we were talking amongst ourselves and decided we would all ride my car to dinner at a ramen shop across from my apartment, and then I would run into my apartment to grab a power strip so that we could use that in the hotel room, because again, we had very few outlets. And then before going back to the hotel, we would check the DoubleTree Hotel for the night market. Yes, ramen, yeah! Oh yeah, this was just a little... This is proof that I am living, breathing, and Marley was there with me. I gotta say, we got some pretty good responses out of these costumes. I didn't know... I wasn't sure how many people would react to it, but Marley was like... Marley made a great point. If somebody reacts to our costumes, those are the OG Magical Girl fans. Like, they know their shit, so... We got to meet some awesome people that day. The wink, you're dead. Yes, I'm out to steal your hearts. Hide your wives and eggs. Ikto is in town. Yes, here is the food porn that you have been waiting for, next to the hot dogs. We went to Kahu Ramen, which is one of my favorite ramen places in San Jose. And I wasn't feeling ramen, ironically, so I got the karaage curry along with the kalpiko chuhai. Yeah, chuhai. Chuhai is a cocktail, if you don't know. But yeah, that was super good. Definitely hit the spot. I can take out Denishu. Okay. Denishu, when will you be in town? Maybe I'll take out Yutsuki first. Huh? You miss Fugetsu. Fugetsu's good too, yeah. They've expanded their lineup, so I've actually been enjoying their deli a lot more recently. You really don't know? That's fair. Well, if you do know, then you'll have to let me know. So then I can take you out, along with Tsuki, maybe. But yeah, we got some good food and grabbed the power strip and tried to head to the night market. You can take me out first? Aw, no, don't do that. You'll have a guide date with CB. If he's not working. Are you down for that, CB? I'm wondering. He's typing. He's thinking. Lego! Alright. It'll be a double date. Wouldn't that be cute? Oh, man. We gonna get crunk. No. Somebody has to drive, I assume. But yeah, we arrived to the DoubleTree Hotel and found the entrance to the night market. But we found out that they were checking con badges as well as IDs at the entrance. And while we all had our IDs on us, the guys couldn't pick up their con badges that day, and Marley and I didn't think to bring the badges, so none of us could get into the night market that night. I just wasted my gas. By the time we got back, yeah, rip, truly. But now we knew, so we got back to the hotel past like 10:30, just kind of talked about anime stuff for a bit. Marley was already asleep, and I fell asleep past midnight. So that was Friday, already exciting start. And this was my findings for that day from Vendor's Room and Artist Alley. I'm gonna zoom out of it. No, I can't do that. It's a bit cut off here. But on the bottom, there's the Arknights posters. And on the top, from the left, that's the Mob Psycho fan art. And then the 3 Destination posters. Paradise Falls from Up, the movie. There's the Korok Forest from Legend of Zelda, and Zora's Domain, also from Zelda. Eevee and car sticker. I can't wait to put that on my car. I think I can move a bit. Gosh. It's not cooperating with me, but... No. It's cutting off this other bit. I also bought a replica ring from Fire Emblem Engage. It's Marth's ring. It's a very cheap gold adjustable ring, but I thought it was cute. There's also the Arknight stickers. And there's a Shiver charm from Splatoon 3 over here. Yeah, pretty good haul. Oh, and then Marley, one of the things that Marley bought and I really liked was this desk mat featuring Garchomp, but in like Monster Hunter style. Isn't this so cool? Very realistic. There's like little Pokeballs scattered around under him too. Nice, I know, right? Really love this art. This artist has some cool Monster Hunter and Pokemon parodies. So they were also selling packs of Pokemon cards, but with Monster Hunter on there. So they were drawn to look like Pokemon, but it was Monster Hunter monsters. Yeah, very amazing. So this is the artist, if you're curious. Art of R.J. Palmer. I thought that Koraidon was also cool on the banner there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have a website. The icons. They have a rjpalmerstore.com, Instagram as well, and I think that's a Twitter. Oh, you followed them. That's cool. Yeah, I discovered their stuff at this con and really liked it. Go check it out. And that brings us to Saturday. So this was my first time spending more than like 3 hours with Alex, much less sleeping in the same space with him. So little did I know, he snores like a motherfucker. He kept me and Marley up so bad that night. I could not fall into a deep sleep. It was pretty rough. Yeah, I don't know what it was. Like if it was his pillow not high enough or like he was on his back or what. But yeah, he sounded like he was kind of sleep apnea choking. It was concerning. He would have still knocked out, but oh man. I tried. I really did. It was just that loud. So anyways, barely asleep. Woke up at 7 because I had to get into my other cosplay for this day. Marley also had a pretty casual cosplay for that day. I briefly drove Marley to the nearest Target because she had to consult a CVS pharmacist about her ear feeling clogged. That was the whole thing. I helped resolve the issue by actually cleaning her ear, so that was a relief. And the first thing I wanted to do this day was a 10 a.m. panel. It was called Lost in Game Translation. The panelist was in a Mashal cosplay with that, which I thought was cute. I don't watch the show, but the cosplays were very recognizable. In this panel, the panelist is an actual game dev who speaks more than one language. So in addition to English, it was something else. I don't know because Marley and I slipped into the room after his introduction started. But he was explaining how translations and localizations can affect your game performance and like sales and such. So in this slide he was explaining how to determine whether to go with Spanish more or Portuguese or both if you're looking for a specific target audience. He was also comparing fonts for East Asian languages because it would look different between like Mandarin and simplified Chinese versus Japanese and a little bit of Hanja in Korean, which was something that at least Marley never thought of. She was like, I didn't think it'd be that different. Like they're also similar, but it's so different. I also learned that Russian has a very complicated conjugation system for counting. That sounded like a bitch to deal with. And the thing I was amused by was German, because in German you can connect words forever and turn it into a massive compound word and it would make total sense for a German speaker. But when you try to fit that with no spaces onto like a UI, like a starting menu, it doesn't look good. You can't fit it into the buttons that you need to click, or it just doesn't make sense where you try to cut off the words. So that's when the devs would have to ask the translators to come up with a different way to translate each word, and in order to fit them better. A lot of fonts don't even support every single character. That too, yeah, exactly. Those were the kinds of things you have to consider when doing translations. And I thought this might have been kind of obvious, but I thought it was interesting when he said, if you're trying to sell a game internationally, the first language you want to have is obviously English. But the second language that you want is Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, which makes sense because that's where the biggest consumer market is, and like, you know, the biggest population is. But I just thought that was interesting. Is my inner voice in English or Japanese? I get that question often and I really don't have an answer. It kind of flip-flops, but I think most often I notice it's in Japanese. Probably simplified Chinese. Yes, that would make the most sense. But yeah, in addition to being educational, informative, it was a really funny presenter, so I was pleasantly surprised by this. I'm really glad I caught this panel. Good start to my Saturday. Oh, and I forgot to mention, you also flip-flop between Spanish and English, right? It just happens. That's just how bilingual people work. It's not an on and off switch, it just kind of moves between one or the other. I forgot to mention, I learned a little before this weekend that a Japanese voice actor named Yu Hayashi was scheduled as a guest of honor for this FanimeCon, and I actually like some of his work, namely Ryunosuke Tanaka from Haikyuu, the volleyball anime. And it's his first time outside of the Japan fan base. Like, it's his first time in America, so not only did they have panels for him, they also scheduled autograph sessions for Saturday and Sunday. But I looked closely at the rules, and the autograph sessions were on a lottery basis. So you had to enter the lottery for each session that you wanted. And they would start drawing names 60 minutes before the autograph sessions were scheduled to start, and that would let you know if you got in for a group number and what time to come back to the check-in desk, or if you got a later group or you didn't get in at all. And even then, they had many disclaimers saying that autographs are still not guaranteed even if you get in, mostly because they don't know how fast or slowly the guest will sign autographs and or take pictures. But I trusted my good luck, so I signed up for both Saturday and Sunday sessions. And and so while we were on the way to the convention center that morning, I signed up for that. After the language panel, Marley and I walked down the block to the Signia Hotel to check out the J Fashion Market. Oh, this guy! So this was a Naruto cosplayer. This character is called Killer Bee. I thought he looked awesome from a distance, so I ran up and asked for a picture. And he started rapping like the actual character because stereotypes. But man, he was on point. He started rapping and he kept ending the phrase on a cliffhanger so that I could finish it with Killer Bee, but I couldn't catch on to that, and I was panicking because I didn't know whether to take a picture or start recording. And so he was like, da 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 da, Killer, wanna be? And I was supposed to say Killer Bee, but I was just like, But he was like Killer B, and he gave me a fist bump, and it was so cool. That happened. We walked away, and Marley was like, "You should have been recording." I was like, "I should have been recording." Rapping made the cosplay authentic. It really did. That's part of why I missed cosplays and being in the convention space in general. Like, people really embody the character and put their all into it, so I really like that. But yeah, the Signia Hotel had a big ballroom set up to have a J-fashion market. It was a bunch of like handmade outfits and accessories and hats and stuff. I'm not really into that kind of style, so I wasn't really looking for anything, but Marley is a big hat person. She has a lot of hats in her obsessed collection. So she bought several berets and stuff. I did end up buying a pair of earrings and a button. I will show that later. Yeah, but this, compared to the convention space, this was much classier and quiet, so it's kind of a nice breather from the hustle and bustle. And then I wanted to check out the Smash Bros gathering at noon, so we walked back. This was Marley's outfit. It was like a casual version of a character from a Chinese webtoon that I don't remember the name of. I want to say it was like King's Game or something. And there's my outfit. This is Hanako from Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. And you can't really see it, but my earrings were shaped like the souls, like the souls that Hanako controls. I got a lot of shoutouts in the streets, like as people were walking by, they noticed me and they kind of go like, Hanako-kun, I'm like, hi. And then I had a grand total of one person ask me to take a photo, so not bad for such a simple costume. I did have a big cape to go with this outfit, but I didn't alter it, so I decided it hid too much of the costume and it looked bulky, and also it was probably gonna make me hot, so I decided to ditch it that day. Gotta be careful of not going to steal Dinishi. Exactly. Don't you know, I'm an actual chick magnet. Oh, on the way back to the convention center space, we found some more Shigokara cosplayers, which was exciting. That's Amu in her Daya form, and then that's one of the villains, Utao, also in diamond form. Looked pretty cute. Wish they would have been at the gathering the day before. And we found an Eevee! Did I see any Gundam cosplay? No, actually. Now that you mention it. There weren't many mecha people. It would have been cool. I know this Eevee was so cute. You could hear the fan whirring inside the whole time, but yeah, they were just bouncing up and down right outside the spot where the Smash Bros gathering was gonna happen, and as soon as I was done taking the picture for Marley here, she turned and said thank you, and then Eevee did like a full body bow. Like ankles down, folded over, like bow. It was so cute. Kind of weird to me that it's so scuffed up though, like kind of like how you have a velvet couch and you run your hand across it. Still cute though, really liked it. There was a Pikmin group as well. And these people were part of the Smash Bros gathering. Here's a group photo. If you're wondering, the guy, you can't see it from here, but wait, oh no, I skipped it. There's a guy in the far right here. This red jacket dude, he came in late and he was yelling, "Fuck it, me sword fighter!" So I guess he was a Mii sword fighter. Little Mac rip. Yeah, Little Mac looked really good. I gotta be honest. Both the pink hoodie version and the regular version, but I was impressed with the Rob right here. They had detachable feet parts, so while they were going up and down stairs, they took off the cardboard bits on their feet and then posed for photos with it. Oh yeah, you could do a Little Mac cosplay, that'd be awesome. Pretty easy. I gotta say, the Splatoon crew over here, they looked great. I especially love that ink brush, the gigantic ink brush with the purple ink. That was impressive. I didn't stay too long for that group. Whoops. This was the main entrance to the convention center. It looks so official and grand with that huge poster on the top. And also the blow-up figure flapping in the front. And instead of going back into the convention center, we decided to walk around it to the South Hall, which looks like a slime from Dragon Quest, the game. But it's actually really long, if you looked at it from the side. And this is where they had the Itasha car show. So inside it looked like this. Yeah, very big slime. They had a bunch of people's Itashas in here. Itashas are like custom wrapped cars and decorations and stuff. Yeah, you really should have gone. You missed out, my dude. This was the Godzilla one. Take that in for a minute. And they had a shit ton of Miku cars, mostly because racing Miku cars are a thing in Japan, so I'm guessing that a lot of these people were trying to replicate those cars, what with the sponsorship stickers and stuff. They look great though. Personally, this particular racing Miku was my favorite design, so I'm glad there was some rep for that with Luca nonetheless. There was a Cowboy Bebop one to my surprise, complete with the corgi up top. And this one I took a picture of for my friend Ricky. He hated it. He doesn't like Itashas to begin with, but this is Nagatoro. From Don't Tease Me, Nagatoro-san. And there was a cyberpunk one. Thought this was cool. And you can see like the jacket that the main character wears is also on the car seat there. This one was a little sad. I got excited because it was Idolmaster rep that I did not expect to see. I do like Idolmaster. Not so much Cinderella Girls, but as you can kind of see, the side was all sun faded, and I didn't want to take a picture of the hood because it was so scratched up and dulled. It looked pretty rough, so that was probably the low light of that whole car show. The Nissan Godzilla car is canonically correct since it's nicknamed Godzilla. Is it? I did not know that. Makes sense. And the infamous Initial D replica. Cue the Eurobeat. Let me move this a bit. There we go, that's better. Should have been doing that from the beginning, sorry y'all. I also hope you can still hear the music. Yeah, Initial D, that looked great. This was my personal favorite of the whole car show. the custom headlights that are heart-shaped, the pink underglow, the Mikuo tag or plate in front. Oh, it looked so good. In the mood to deliver. Yes, the tofu. And I just noticed, like yesterday while looking through my photos, there's a little license plate on the dashboard here. That's a Japanese license plate, and it has me, like the Japanese character me, followed by 3939, because 39 can be read as Miku in Japanese. So they went all out for this car. I know the hard eyes are so nice. Oh god, this was so good. I took a brief photo of the inside, or not photo, video of the inside. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but this was just to demonstrate that there was a DJ playing inside this hall.
You gotta have some serious dedication to paint your entire car.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god, the rims! The rims are hard.
Oh.
You know what, honestly, Kafka.
I cut Marley off there, but she was basically saying Kafka honestly deserves the heart rims. I wouldn't know because I don't play the Hoyoverse games. Yeah, the DJ was actually pretty good. I like this playlist. This is the one male character, Itasha, featuring Gojo, of course. It had to be Gojo. Another Miku racing car. Am I going to play Wuthering Waves? No, I keep hearing that title and I have no idea what it's about. The only Hoyoverse game I'm looking into is the 3Z game. I forget what the official title was, like something Zen something. There it is. Zenless Zone Zero. That's the only game I'm interested in. Yes, Myrene, best girl. This car was so cute, but look how insanely low it is. God, you could never drive over a speed bump with that thing. Nice save there, Tsuki. I should have taken a picture of the top too, because the top of this car was also decked out in Myrene print. And they also had a sunshade in the driver's, like the windshield, that featured Myrene in the passenger seat. And the main character, I forget his name, he was on the driver's seat holding the handle. So, looked really cute. Myrene reminds you of Denishu, not gonna lie. Interesting comparison there. I can neither deny nor confirm that, really. Because I'm sure you've seen sides of Denishu that I haven't. But yeah, this car show was honestly a lot more exciting than I thought. I really like Itasha's. I think it's pretty cool hobby. Like, if you had that kind of money and dedication to deck out your car, mad respect. You do you, go for it. Alright, and it was about time to grab food, so we ran inside the convention center all the way to the food court. But this was like moments before we had to start lining up for the Yu Hayashi interview panel, the voice actor that I really wanted to catch, so Marley and I bought some taiyakis and booked it. But they had a 2-for-1 deal, so we had to, of course, buy the 2 for each of us and then get an extra one and just ran with it. So we had taiyakis in our mouths like a classic shoujo manga character. Oh, I'm gonna be late for school. I forgot the last VTuber one. V Shoujo with Iron Mouse, of course. So yeah, I got the pepperoni pizza taiyaki. This had some nice ooey gooey mozzarella cheese inside with like 4 slices of pepperoni in it. I really liked it. The dough was also springy and nice and warm, so I highly recommend this one actually. Marley got the classic red bean paste. Can't go wrong with that one. And our free one, we got the Oreo stuffed one. Marley didn't really like this one. She said it was too sweet for her, but I actually enjoyed it. We got it for free, so can't really complain there. But yeah, by the time we got to the line for this panel, it was right about time when they were starting to let people in, so we made it perfectly on time. And there he is in the flesh. I'm gonna stop the music just so y'all can possibly hear this.
5歳の頃から入って初めて声の仕事をしたのは、小学校の2年生の時、ディズニー映画のバンビという作品がデビュー作でした。
This was off of Snapchat, so I don't think it properly saved, but yeah, I got to hear Yu Hayashi's voice in the flesh, in person. That was so cool. There's the picture. That's him on the right. The interpreter actually did a pretty decent job. I think she was solid at her word choice. Although she did tend to omit like half of the things he said in each answer. Thought the bouncing was mimicking my heartbeat. No, I zoomed in for that snap, but I guess it didn't save or upload properly. At least the audio worked. But yeah, so how they ran this panel was the interviewer also worked as an MC, and they had like a sheet with questions, a list of questions already prepared. So she would read off the question in English, and then he would give his answer in Japanese. And even though this was his first time outside of Japan, he seemed to really like considered the translator's work. So he paused pretty frequently in between sentences to give her enough time to translate. But like sometimes he would give like a 2-minute long answer, and I would understand most of it. And then he turned to the translator, the interpreter, and she shortened it to like 30 seconds. Like she only caught a third of what he said, and that was kind of disappointing. Like every time I go to a panel or some event like this, I can't help but think I could do a better job at interpreting or translating, but alas, still had fun. And then at the end of this panel, they had a little giveaway. So they prepared like 6 to 8 slips of paper that worked as like your golden ticket to hang out personally with Yu Hayashi that afternoon. Feel it's more time constraints. I guess so. I don't know. I think he did a good job keeping his answers concise enough to let her translate the whole thing, but it might have just been she wasn't taking notes as he was giving answers, so I think she just kind of forgot the key points and kept it to the first 2 things that he mentioned. So that's another thing. If you're going to interpret for someone, I think note-taking is important. But I gotta applaud her for having anime knowledge, though. She did know like Haikyuu and the characters in that show, so sometimes there are interpreters who don't know jargon, like weeb jargon, but she did. So yeah, for the giveaway, Yu Hayashi versus the audience had a little rock, paper, scissors contest. So Yu Hayashi would go Janken Pong and then throw out one of the signs, and the audience would do the same, and whoever beat Yu Hayashi's rock, paper, or scissors would stay standing and everybody else had to sit down. And then it would keep going until the last person was there and they would claim the golden ticket. It was really fun. I lost on the first round every game they did, so sadly that did not happen. But I did forget to mention, while on the way to the J Fashion Market at Signia, I got into the lottery for the autograph session on Saturday, this day. So I didn't feel too bad missing out on the golden ticket. I did have my chance to get an autograph, so I was looking forward to that. I should totally sign up to be interpreter for the events. Yeah, I really should. Sometimes they do it on a volunteer basis, so if I look at that early enough, I feel like I'm qualified to do it. I have a degree in linguistics, after all. You attended Aya Hirano's panel that year. Whoa, that's so cool. God, Aya Hirano, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. Now that's a legendary one. I'm impressed that Fanime could pull that one off. Oh yeah, so after that panel there was a Genshin Impact gathering that Marley really wanted to catch. So here's all the Genshin characters, cosplayers, so many of them. Apparently Marley plays Genshin, so you dropped by without realizing who she was. Damn, y'all are lucky, breathing the same air as Aya Hirano. If you don't know, Aya Hirano voiced famous characters such as Haruhi from Melancholy of Suzumiya Haruhi and Konata from Lucky Star. Yeah, there was so many. I didn't know half of them, if at all. I don't play Genshin, so. And I don't know if it's sadly, but once Marley was satisfied with the pics she got from this gathering, she kind of got like a hankering for doing a Genshin group cosplay, and I was automatically included in the head count because I am her cosplay husband. So we are now planning to do a Genshin group cosplay sometime in the future for a con held in probably the Los Angeles area, so wish me luck. I will be doing Al-Hytham. I can pull up a picture of him. This dude. And it's not really a good picture. Yeah, this one. Very pretty silver hair boy. Gotta start playing now. No. I've gotta play Genshin to understand your character. I know, but like, I really don't have any interest in Genshin, to be honest. Open up my wallet. I don't have to open up my wallet to play Genshin. That's just the gachas if I end up finding a character I'm desperate for, which so far there have been none. Mostly because like every Genshin character is so pretty that it's kind of boring to me. There's really no variety in personality or looks. Everybody's so pretty. It's kind of monotonous. So I don't really care for this game, to be honest. And if I wanted to have that kind of adventurous feeling, I have Tears of the Kingdom to play, so. Who's the waifu? Waifu is playing. Marley will be Hu Tao, this girl. Very cute. This is a ghosty, spooky girl. Also happens to be Marley's brother's favorite Genshin character. I don't know if that's related. Yeah, very cute. I really can't think of any Genshin characters that are not cute or not pretty. Paimon is actually going to be one of our mutual friends. Her name is Becca. She cosplayed Paimon before. I think she still has that outfit, so she's going to be in our group. Denishin, the cosplay group. I don't know. Are you gonna be available to join us at a LA con? Probably gonna be like Anime Expo or something big. I almost went for Beidou, which is this pirate lady, very badass. In the future one day, hell yeah. I'm always down for that. But yeah, I thought this would look pretty good on me, although I've done an eye patch character before that was CL Phantom Hive and my eye was pretty fucked up. So I was like, maybe not. I would rather have my left eye hidden by hair that I can easily move in style, so this is what I'm rolling with. I'm not really looking forward to styling that wig, but we'll see how that goes. Can confirm wearing a patch is a real pain. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that you had to wear one for medical reasons. It really... It's so weird. It really feels weird. And honestly, if you're doing any kind of restrictive thing for cosplay, like a binder or contacts or eye patch, don't do it for more than 8 hours at a time, if you can. At least it's short, yeah. Yeah. Thankfully, it's not gonna be as heavy as this wig. Ugh, long wigs are such a pain. But yeah, I think that'll be a fun group. I'll probably watch some videos about Al-Hytham so I can get a better grasp on his character, but I really don't have any intentions on playing Genshin. Or I could just keep watching Anxiety's Genshin streams, and that'll be just fine. After the Genshin gathering, there was a little fashion show happening, a J fashion show happening at the Signia Hotel, so Marley and I wanted to check that out. Sadly, we missed like the opening time. So we came in a little later and they already had a full house, so they weren't letting any more people in. But since there were so few people hanging out there, we were able to just sit down and take a break for a minute. And at 3:15 I had to come back to the convention center, so this was on the way to the J fashion show. These are the twins from Monster Hunter Rise, Hinoa and Minato. And I think these were actually identical twins, if not they were at least related. They look so good, and they also had the little bunny dongo props. Look at it. Oh, so cute. Wholesome for sure. Yeah, I saw them from a distance as we were crossing the street towards the Signia Hotel, and I was like, I can't catch up to them. I really want to take their picture. But I managed to catch up and call from behind. So glad I did. Ah, man, I really want to do a Monster Hunter cosplay at some point too. Like, the Nargacuga armor set. That would be fun. But yeah, we headed back to the convention center, and Marley was just chilling out by the main stage where they were doing like dance performances and stuff. But I had group number 3 for autographs, which meant I had to check in at 3:15 to grab a number card and secure my spot in the autograph line. So this was the area where we lined up. Left side was the check-in, and then right side was for walk-ups if they had any, which is very unlikely to happen. But yeah, I got number 147, which seemed like kind of a a low number, a high number to have, but they allowed one item to be signed per person, and that item can be a shikishi board like the one I have here. It's just a blank cardboard or poster board, I guess. This is specifically for signing in Japan. So you can have a shikishi board, or you can use the autograph section in the official FanimeCon pamphlet, because they had a couple blank pages for you to use for autographs. You could also have your con badge signed. You could have a manga volume signed, or official merchandise. The only thing they didn't allow was fan art for very obvious reasons. But yeah, I'm glad I found one of these loose shikishi boards sitting at my office at work. We had an extra, so I stole it. Con badge is cool. Yeah, that would have made a great souvenir, but I really wanted to have something bigger and, like, cleaner. So what they did was, once you checked in by showing your con badge number, and then they gave you a number card, they led you into a separate room with tape on the floor, and like they had X marks on it at a certain frequency. So they would tell you to stand at a certain X spot. Can't get too close. I think it was just to make sure you had the right spot according to your number. So they were like, you're number 139, stand right here. You're 150, over here. And so I had 147. Yeah. So it was an very eerily quiet room. I don't know if it was the soundproofing, or everybody was just tired, or they felt like it would disturb the other people in the room. We ended up just kind of sitting in silence for like 10 minutes. And we were waiting for the next thing to happen. And that's when one of the staff members walked in to the front of the room facing us, and I got my hopes up, so I was like, oh, it's about time to start. And they said, we're really sorry, guys. Yu Hayashi has a hard cutoff at 4 because he has to be at a different event, which means we have to cut the line off here, and you will not be able to get an autograph. We're terribly sorry. So I ended up not getting an autograph. Just my luck. Imagine the place being awkward and make you want to run away. Yeah, it felt kinda awkward. It was a stark difference from the loudness coming from the outside in the main hall. So yeah, we sadly filed out from the exit back into the convention center, and yeah, this was at like, they told us this at like 3:40 too, so I'm guessing that Yu Hayashi wasn't able to get through the first two groups quickly enough. So yeah, that was a very sad day. My luck didn't quite come through. But I did sign up for the autograph session on Sunday, so I was gonna hope that I would get an earlier group for that. After that, there was a Ghibli gathering, so I collected myself. Oh yeah, this was outside on the way to the gathering. It's a little dino rave. I love that the inflatable dinosaurs are becoming like a common costume. But yeah, Ghibli. This was pretty fun. I couldn't get a good photo for the whole group in the beginning because I was towards the back of the audience and everybody was in the way. But this was the My Neighbor Totoro group. The day you picked up TR when you arrived in Hong Kong, saw 2 peeps dressing as dinos waiting. That's awesome. I've seen a TikTok like that. Somebody was waiting for their grandma to arrive from the arrival gate, but it was like a pair of kids and they were dressed up in the inflatable dino suits. Little did they know, Grandma also had an inflatable dino suit, so she came rolling with a suitcase in an inflatable dino suit through the sliding doors, and it was just 3 dinos ramming into each other for a reunion hug. Yeah, it was so wholesome. It was hilarious. That's the kind of grandma I wish I could be. To become. This was the Kiki's delivery service group. There's this little baby Gigi right here with the broomstick. When the mom behind him walked him on, everybody went, "Oh!" It was so cute. It's so unfair when people have their children dressed up in cosplay. It's automatically good. Oh, this one was my favorite from Saturday. This is the Porco Rosso cosplay. They both look so good. This was pose 1, and then this was pose 2. Looks just like the movie. Porco Rosso, very good movie, except for the ending. I do recommend. Here's a Princess Mononoke. I love that the cosplayer in the middle did the boss. I forget her name, but she's like the opposing tribe's boss. I love that. You don't see a cosplay of that very often. Spirited Away. This Yubaba on the left was terrifying. Up close. It was all made of fabric, so you could kind of see the wrinkles and fuzziness on her skin. It was unsettling, to say the least. Impressive and eye-catching for sure. I just did not want to be that close. Person went all out. Yeah, honestly, I can't imagine how long it took for them to make that thing. Here we have all the Howls and Sophies from Howl's Moving Castle. There was one Witch of the Wastelands sitting down here on the left. I wish she would have been standing. She looked fantastic. Another costume you don't see very often. Oh, this was so cute. This is Ponyo. They had a couple other Ponyo cosplayers, but I had to zoom in on these 2. They looked so good. And again, you don't see a whole lot of cosplayers doing Ponyo's dad, so I think they nailed it. It was so good. I think that was it. Yeah, we turned around and found a League of Legends gathering happening at the same time. I wasn't super interested. I was just surprised there were so many League of Legends cosplayers there, honestly. Didn't think it was still relevant. Isn't that a pizza shield? It sure is, yep. CB can explain better, but this group was categorized as skins for their champions, so one of them has a pizza delivery style. It's actually a weapon. Thank you, CB. League is always one of the biggest gatherings. I'm surprised it is. Forget what it's called, but it's an Egyptian like boomerang thing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you can see like the arcane version of Jinx over there in Star Guardians. Oh, the abs, yeah. Looking good, honestly. So Saturday, a Chalikar. Thank you, Titsuki. I would have never guessed. So Saturday, it just so happens that one of my friends, her name is Naomi. Naomi actually was part of the staff for FanimeCon, and she wanted to grab some food with me at some point, so we decided to meet up at 6 on Saturday and go get some dinner. So after the Ghibli gathering, Marley and I still had some time, so we hopped into a panel called A Queer History of Fandom. We weren't expecting a whole lot. Like, Marley considers herself to be like an OG fandom pioneer, so she was like, I've seen shit, I was there when it was written, kind of thing. I was just kind of there for the ride, but it was an interesting panel. They started from like the 80s with Star Trek fan fiction and kind of dove into the early history of how internet media and communications evolved, and like how certain mainstream shows affected the LGBT community, and how the fans' responses then affected the show, and it was really fascinating, actually. Mostly because they covered the times before me or Marley were born, so we didn't know any of that stuff. But the main takeaway was, do not underestimate the lesbians. They will fight. We peeked into the game room again, but of course there was a long wait, so we couldn't really do much. Stopped by the artist alley, and I ended up buying another poster. And that's finally when we met up with Naomi to walk over to the sofa market for dinner. This is like right around the block from the convention center. Naomi brought me here before, and I really liked it, so I figured it was an easy and affordable place to have dinner. It's kind of like a food court, but they have a lot of exotic options like Thai food, pizza, Cuban cuisine, etc. Sushi, I think. Luckily we found a table, so I was feeling something basic, but I remembered one of the restaurants here has stone fire, like a stone oven for pizzas, so I decided to try one of those. And I got a Mexican Coke, not realizing how huge it would be. This thing's like a liter big. Yeah, it was a full bottle Coke, and it was bigger than my head. I had to chug that thing before it went flat. Yeah, the pizza was amazing, honestly. I added the pepper flakes after they gave it to me, but oh, it was so good. I got the basic welcome to Mexico. Yeah, Mexican Coke is the bomb. Not gonna lie. Jarritos is also good, but yeah, I got the basic margarita pizza with just mozzarella and basil, but oh, it was so good. The pizza crust was nice and fluffy and fresh. Jarritos, yes! Yep. Gotta love the orange Jarritos. But yeah, this was really good pizza. Highly recommend Sofa Market if you're looking for some cheap but delicious options. Tamarind Jarritos. I've never had that one, I think. You think pineapple's your favorite? Oh, interesting. Tamarind and mandarin are the best. Aren't those both like citruses? Tamarind. Mandarin. Tamarind gang. In this house we love Jarritos. You like your sour things. That's fair. You can have all the sour things. I'm not really good with sour stuff. That's your favorite? Okay. Tamarind supremacy, I see. But yeah, I was actually really glad that Naomi and Marley hit it off pretty quickly. I wasn't sure how their energies would coincide with each other. Marley's like pretty high energy and Once you get her to talk, she will not stop talking. But Naomi's kind of the opposite. She's typically a bit quieter and soft-spoken, but she definitely has the Gen Z humor. So, yeah, I'm glad we were able to grab dinner together, and I also got some insider info from Naomi. For example, Marley and I were wondering why every time we showed our badges at the security checkpoints, the guards were asking to see both the front and the back of the badges. Because on the front it said attendee in big bold letters with the picture, but on the back was like the QR code of the badge number that was also on the back, and your name in super fine print. So we were like, what are they looking for? But Naomi explained that some of the vendors have slightly different badges, and they also have stickers on the back to kind of hint that they are part of the vendor team. So that was probably what they were looking for, and we're like, oh, okay. So yeah, after that, I think I had another picture. Yeah, here we are. This was me and Marley waiting for the shuttle back to the hotel. This was past 7:30, and by 9, we were done taking turns in the shower, and Marley went to sleep because she wanted to catch a few Z's before Alex was going to come back and ruin it, which I think was smart of her. I on the other hand had to wait for my hair to dry for a bit, and also I wanted to edit some of my photos for that day, so I stood up a bit later. But I did end up falling asleep at like 10:30 or so. And the boys, Tyler and Alex, came back to the hotel at 1 in the morning, they said, the next day. Ugh. I could never. I'm too old for that. Ugh. As if they're not the same age. But yeah, Saturday was quite eventful, I gotta say. Lots of cosplays to catch. Oh, and this was my haul for that day. The Kuroken poster. I love the watercolor art. It's so soft and beautiful. And it's like a slice of life scene. You don't see that very often for haiku stuff. And there are the kitty earrings and cloth button that I mentioned like ages ago. Can't wait to wear the earrings to work. My whole office desk is cat themed, so it'll fit in just right. So yeah, Saturday was fun. And, typically Saturday is the busiest day of the con, so there were a lot of people there, but it didn't feel very claustrophobic, except for the artist alley. For the number of artists that they had, I think the booths were too close to each other, so there was very little wiggle room for people to get by and kind of weave through. So that was the only time it felt hard to breathe. But it's nowhere near as bad as like last year's Anime Expo, where people could not move in the main halls. It was like a legit fire hazard. So yeah, I think FanimeCon organization was very reliable. They did a great job. And that brings us to Sunday. I again woke up. You're afraid to go to AX with how many people were there? Yeah, same. I really want to go at some point. And this year, it's happening on my birthday week. So I thought it would be a great way to celebrate my birthday. But seeing how bad it was last year with the overbooking, I don't really trust them. I'm gonna try to wait a few more years so that they get their shit together and like people kind of back off. Oops. So yeah, Sunday, I had my last cosplay to put on, so I was the first to wake up before everybody else. a little before 7. This was my Colonel Mustang day. I'll show you in a minute. But eventually everybody woke up, and at 8:30 I was done, which was much sooner than I thought it would take, considering I was trying to erase my eyebrows. Yeah, pung! So I took Marley and Alex to the nearest Paris Baguette. This is one of the nicer Paris Baguettes I've been to. It's so clean and spacious and well stocked. It was so good. I got the ham and cheese pastry and a medium coffee because coupons. That was good. Yeah. Love me some good bread and coffee. And as soon as we got back to the hotel, the shuttle was already there, so Marley and I hopped on and went straight to the convention center. And the first thing I wanted to do was... yeah, wow. This panel, this was the Name That Anime Tune panel. I say panel, but it was really a game show. So, so the woman on the far left of the table and the guy in the hat standing over here with the mic, those two were the panelists running this game show. And how they structured it is they had like a roll of raffle tickets, and so people in the audience who wanted to partake as a contestant could run up to grab a ticket number, and then if the guy in the hat pulled your number from the tin, then you would become a contestant for that round, that game. So they played like, what, 5 to 6 games maybe? It was a 2-hour long slot, so they had a lot of songs prepared. But each round had a different theme. Like for the first round here, it was an anime between 1960 to 1989, and you could answer the English or Japanese title to get it right. Other later rounds had specific ones, like this anime is in the thriller genre, or like this is from the English dub, so you can only answer the English version of the show title and such. It was surprisingly hard. Marley and I didn't participate as contestants because we knew we weren't going to be very good at it. But it was kind of fun just watching, and also if the contestants couldn't answer the name within the 30 seconds that the song played, then the audience had a chance to answer and win some stickers as prizes. So we didn't really feel the need to partake as a contestant. Whoops. But yeah, if it was anything before like the 2000s, we really didn't have an answer. It was so niche. But it was really fun. Didn't feel like 2 hours. And the English dub category was so funny because they used like the 4Kids versions of the opening themes. And I didn't realize how many of those themes sing the show title in the song. So one of those rounds, everybody shut up so they could hear the music and focus, and it would start playing like this intense guitar riff, and some drums would start playing, and then it goes like Beyblade, Beyblade, and everybody roared with laughter. I think the contestants had a harder time hearing because the speaker, as you can see on the side over there, was facing the audience instead of the contestants. But yeah, there was also a round they played Kirby, 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 Kirby's the name. 4Kids is so nostalgic when you first learned about YGO, Yu-Gi-Oh! They didn't play Yu-Gi-Oh! Sadly. They played Beyblade. They also had one of the Transformers series. Kirby was in there. That was very funny. Yeah, I didn't realize how many of those songs sang the actual title. Way to give away the answers. So yeah, that was easily how we killed 2 hours there. It's the same as the English version. Beyblade Spanish intro? Ooh, I didn't know. I didn't even think about other dubs. It's the duel. Oh, you had the VHS for us. Cool. Damn, you have a lot of VHSs for old school animes, sounds like. After this panel, I wanted to catch the VTuber Tech panel, which was at 12:30, so we, Marley and I kind of hung out by outside the wall, and that's when I spotted this awesome Krona cosplayer. This is a This is a Soul Eater cosplay. Oh, they nailed it. Looks so good. I saw them coming down the stairs in front of us, and I was like, that Krona's cute. I ran up and asked for a picture. Soul Eater would be a fun one to cosplay as well. And I still can't believe this happened, but after I took this picture, I sat back down with Marley and noticed Yu Hayashi came down the steps in front of us. He was right there in the open. And I gasped. I was like, that's Hayashi-san, he's right there. Did I go talk to him? Wait, what? And Marley was like, you should go talk to him. But I noticed that he was like walking with several other people who seemed to be like his manager and some other coworkers. And he looked like he was on the way to some room. Like he clearly had a destination. So I felt bad going up to him and like causing him any kind of delays. I did end up blurting out his name like Hayashi-san, but he didn't hear me, sadly. So I kind of regret that. That was my one chance to go talk to him one-on-one and maybe ask for an autograph, because I still had the Shikishi board in my backpack. Regrets. But I did remember he mentioned he was going to stay in San Jose for the whole duration of the con, like the end of Monday. So I was like, maybe I'll see him somewhere again later. So, really had my fingers crossed. So yeah, 12:30, VTuber Tech panel started. This was really cool. The panelist you can see over on the left, she was like quite the professional tech expert. Like she had done a lot of programming and model development, I think. She had a lot of credentials and I can't remember all of them, but she knew what she was talking about. And she broke up the presentation into like 2D VTubing and 3D VTubing, and I was really only interested in the 2D half because that's something I'm interested in doing at some point. But I did learn some interesting stuff in 3D VTubing, particularly how the different kind of motion capture has pros and cons, obviously. I learned that there's something called inertial mocap, which uses gyroscopes attached to your limbs. That has a lot of cons because the motion sensors can easily desync after like only 10 minutes or so, your model will start looking a little wonky. Your limbs might start floating one way or like clip into your body, so... Miss Pro Tech Lady, how do I become a cute cowboy VTuber? Exactly. Press Y to sync the gyro. Yep, you had to like T-pose and do a walking cycle and stuff. So that's inertial mocap's weakness. And then there is also optical mocap, that's what it's called. Optical mocap is what you would picture from like Hollywood's behind the scenes with the reflective balls attached to the black suits. That's optical mocap. They use the reflective balls and multiple cameras above you and around you to kind of put your model in relation to the space that you're in. Yeah. Yes, noted. So that way optical mocap has very little error and very little desyncing happening. And you can also have props to interact with. So some 3D VTubers that use optical mocap can also have like gaming chair models to interact with. Pretty cool stuff. And I also liked that within the 2D section and the 3D section, this panelist broke up by budget. So they started with like free assets and how you can start with free models. And then they bumped it up to like $100 if you have some spare change to drop on a model maybe. And then they bumped it up to like 10,000 bucks if you want to get professional tech or a custom model with the custom rigging and stuff. So it was really informative. I feel like I learned a lot. I'm quite glad. And even though Marley was on her phone the whole time, by the time we were done and leaving the room, she was like, that was really good. I think I learned a lot. I was like, oh, really? That's good to know. So yeah, the panels have been pretty good this time around. Maybe she was note-taking on her phone. Nope. Can confirm she was just texting her friends because she's constantly texting multiple friends all across the country. And the only sad thing though, during this panel, I got the text message regarding the Sunday autograph session for Yu Hayashi. I got the standby group. It wasn't even a numbered group. It was a standby group, which meant it was word for word. I'm quoting here. They said it is highly unlikely that I would get an autograph. So, yeah, I didn't even bother going to the check-in desk for my return time. It was not happening. Sadness. The stars were just not aligned enough for me to meet Yu Hayashi that weekend. Ugh! But hey, at least I got to catch his interview panel and breathe the same air as him. Next, there was an Ace Attorney / mystery game gathering happening outside, so we moved for that. Oh, thank you for the pet-pets. While waiting though, I found this awesome Miku cosplay. This is for Magical Mirai 2023. Man, the costumes for this Magical Mirai were so good all across the board. I know this wig was awesome. I'm gonna zoom in for a bit. But yeah, you can tell they crimped it to give more volume and structure, and they added the red highlights. And oh man, that top loop holds its shape so well. It was beautiful. Mad props. I also found this cosplayer. This is from the upcoming Hoyoverse game I mentioned, Zenless Zone Zero. I really like this guy. I think he's like, he gives me Ragna the Blood Edge vibes from Blaze Blue, and also like Death the Kid from Soul Eater with the two guns. But his talking, very much Deadpool. So pretty like it's a love child of characters I really like. So this guy is the main reason I'm looking forward to this game. Oh yeah, this is me. This is my Colonel Mustang cosplay. I remembered Suki wanted to take a look at this. I wasn't sure how to style my hair because I didn't want to wear a wig for this. And I didn't have anybody ask for, thank you. What an ikemen, aw, thanks. You're making me blush. It's also hot in here. But yeah, even though I didn't get any photos taken, besides this one that I asked Marley to do, I did have a number of people compliment my outfit. which was enough for me because this is store-bought, and I wore it really because it's comfortable and easy. Yes, pat the IRL Nana. Heart Stealer, yes. Gosh, who doesn't love Roy Mustang? He's so hot, literally, with the fire. The more pictures I show, the harder Denishu falls for me. Yeah, here's the Ace Attorney group. With some other mystery games like Danganronpa, and I think Layton was also there. But yeah, mostly Ace Attorney. Here's all the Phoenix rights. And these are the prosecutors. This was their second pose where they were each doing like their agony sprite movement. God, that Baron on the right, they nailed it. It looks so good. And this was the sidekick group, but I really like that Susato on the left. My first time seeing a Susato cosplay. Honestly, I didn't expect the Great Ace Attorney to get much love in the cosplay community, so I was just really happy to see like Sholmes and Susato and Ryunosuke. Was the clown lady there? No. I forgot about that. Thankfully she was. Oh, this was... we just happened to be passing by this, but there were several truck-kuns running over different isekai characters, so this one was from Konosuba. Oh, the clown lady's the only one you know from Ace Attorney. That's a shame. There are so many better ones out there for Ace Attorney. Genius, yeah. There were quite a handful of truck-kuns, but this was really the highlight. Best use of that costume. They had a big sale prior to this, and I think the series is getting taken off Steam. Oh, that's sad. It's such a good series. Well, I guess it'll stay on the Nintendo eShop at least. I do want to stream the Great Ace Attorney at some point, so that'll hopefully happen soon. Oh, this was awesome. So at 2:30 there was a panel called Nausicaa 40 Years of Legacy. And this panelist over here, he did a fantastic job. I think this was probably my favorite panel this whole weekend. So Nausicaa Valley of the Wind is my favorite Ghibli movie, and I knew, yes, soon trademark. Don't hold me against that word. But I know Nausicaa has a manga series, but I'm kind of iffy on the history as to whether the movie was based off of that manga or not. I did watch the Kabuki adaptation of Nausicaa some years ago, and it was really good. So I was interested in what information this panel would have, and I learned quite a lot. It was really interesting. So first and foremost, the panelists structured the panel as a conversation rather than a presentation. So he kept the floor open and let other Ghibli historians chime in with their knowledge where he needed it, or if he wanted like other perspectives or opinions on something. So it was a very welcome atmosphere. Everybody was super respectful and like took turns speaking clearly and loudly, even though it was a pretty big panel room. So I really liked that. And Nausicaa, the movie, was an original story by Miyazaki. Yes, Pat the panelist, he did a great job. Good panelist. Man, that aiming is spot on. I'm glad. So yeah, Miyazaki apparently was inspired by two different fables or stories. One was the Odyssey, the Greek story, the Greek epic. And another one was like a folk tale from Japanese culture called The Woman Who Loved Insects. Why are you patenting that one random Congo word? I mean, Who knows? They might have been a good Congo or two. But yeah, so Miyazaki took the name Nausicaa from the Odyssey. There was a princess named Nausicaa in there. I did not know this. I didn't read a whole lot. Yes, pat everybody. I guess pat's for you. You get a pat and you get a pat. Everybody gets pats. And then the whole environmentalist, like, appreciate living creatures kind of aspect came from the folk story, The Woman Who Loved Insects. So, I had no idea about those inspirations, but I think Miyazaki did a fantastic job fusing the two. And after that movie came out was when he started the manga version. That manga is much longer and more detailed than the movie is, obviously, because he's able to actually do some world building. Yay, I get pets too. So yeah, he really dove into each character and like the conflicts of the world of Nausicaa. Excuse me. And apparently he was producing more movies while still trying to work on the manga, so he dreaded it. Every time he turned away from a movie in production, there was the manga still left to be worked on, which I can kind of relate to. All my works in progresses. But yeah, the manga is like quite eerie and gory. Not gory, but like very graphic. You wouldn't imagine such a thing from wholesome Miyazaki films, but yeah, all the snippets that this panelist showed really kind of made me want to read the manga. It was interesting. And then I'm gonna back out for a minute. Towards the end of the panel, he mentioned that there was an American release for Nausicaa, but executives decided that it wouldn't be profitable, as in like environmentalist heroine wouldn't strike the mainstream audience of America, so they made their own cuts and their own cover, and this was the cover. They renamed the movie Warriors of the Wind with the catchphrase here, a band of young warriors on the wings of their greatest challenge. So Nausicaa, the main character, is now off to the side up here in the top right with a mini skirt, because who needs tights or pants? That won't sell. You need a mini skirt bare-legged on like a jet. That's supposed to be just a glider, but they turned it into a jet. 70s looking ass. Yeah, this is such Star Wars vibes. The prince turned into the main character right in the center here. The god warrior is now shrunken down to person size, even though the other god warrior is still huge on the bottom here. There's a Pegasus somehow. They have guns, apparently. Like machine rifles. And who knows what this Doctor Doom looking ass is. And this panelist was able to grab a VHS copy of Warriors of the Wind and watch it before presenting. And he included a few clips because the English dub was so bad. I know, that's what I said. I was like, what's that Doctor Doom looking thing doing over there? Doctor Doom, Palpatine, love child. What's interesting was that the whole voice cast was uncredited. They didn't have any credits in the end, so it's still a mystery as to who all these characters were voiced by, which I think is kind of doing disservice to the actors. But yeah, the English dub, really cheesy, really bad. The timing was off for everything. Like there was one scene early on where Nausicaa is getting angry at some invading people, and her little squirrel fox companion runs off and hops off of her shoulder. But the squirrel fox's cry synced up with Nausicaa's mouth, so it looked like she was making a hissing cat noise. That was bad. And also, overall, the whole movie edited out any kind of like environmentalist message, even though that was the whole point of the movie. So it really just devolved into some kind of like post-apocalyptic adventure movie, which I think was a very American decision, but I don't like it. Egregious. Where were you? Day 31, 3 point here? Yes. So yeah, I learned some cursed knowledge that day. They could have said Nausicaa was a guy. I don't know, you can't really hide her boobs. She has quite the curves. And also they changed, I forgot, but they changed all the characters' names, so Nausicaa's name turned into like Xena or something like that. Because Nausicaa was too hard to pronounce. You've never seen Nausicaa? Oh, you're missing out. It's so good. Like, it's not the typical wholesome Ghibli movie, and it has a actually solid storyline. It has a good conclusion and like pretty deep message that I think is still relevant to this day. Beautiful animation. Oh, so good. But yeah, really love this panel. The panels this weekend were solid. I usually don't attend panels very much at cons, but I'm glad I did this year. Sadly, I couldn't go to all the panels that I was interested in, just because they were overlapping or I had some other con gatherings to catch. And then after that, Marley went to the Digimon gathering. Outside, I wanted to catch something called the Setup for Livestream Success panel. This was the weakest panel that I've attended this week, but it was still solid. I think they had really good tips in here. I just wish they would have been a bit more detailed. But like I was telling CB, I don't think they could have gone into too much detail about like specific settings and stuff on the back end, which is what I wanted to know, because people can choose different platforms for streaming, like Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, etc., even Instagram, you know. But yeah, pretty helpful tips, such as like panels sound so much better than the ones you've attended before. Oh, I guess they brought more experienced panelists this year. I don't know. It seemed like the panelists all knew what they were doing, and they were very comfortable with it. Need to really set up multi-streaming one of these days. Yeah, I'm interested in that too, because Streamlabs makes that pretty easy, and I have a YouTube channel as well as TikTok, so... But yeah, the main point that I thought was good to know is these panelists, they also stream on Twitch. They were explaining that audio quality is always more important than video quality, because even if you have like a 480p shitty stream, as long as you sound good and your personality is solid, your audience will stick around. But if you have like a 4K picture but with noise in the background, or like your voice is muffled and far away, then people will not be interested. I thought that was pretty solid. Please remember us when I become a famous VTuber. Of course I will. I don't know if I ever will become a famous VTuber. This is just something I do for fun. But y'all will be the first to join my DGen fan club. Did I catch the Digimon? No, I did not. After I met up with Marley at the Digimon gathering, we moved to the Spider-Verse gathering, so these are all the Spider-Men. Really love the variety here. How Degen do you need to be? If you're already here, then you're Degen enough. Who says you aren't Sims already? That's true. I will not be the one to deny that. Next they had the Spider Women come up, but these three were my particular favorite. Even though I don't like Penny as a character, I think this cosplay was good. And I think that middle one was like MJ in the Homecoming suit? Or Far From Home? But yeah, she was so cute. That Silk on the left though, she took it so seriously. She was way into it. I mean, I respect it, but had to invest in a good mic, but now need to learn how to invest in actually being entertaining. I think, yeah, that's the hard part. Like, even if you have the good setup, the personality and like the content that you provide is really what helps retain people or not. That's just something that comes with experience, it seems. Oh, this was so cool. So we had the villains come up, and this was their second pose. Yeah, so the first pose they struck, I was like, who's that guy in the middle? He looks like the singer for Green Day. But when they went, when the organizer shouted out, pose 2, he started playing music from his Bluetooth speaker that was hidden, and I was like, oh, that's what that is. It's the dancing meme. That was pretty good. The fact that he saved that for the second pose was so smart. The timing was on point. Yeah, emo Peter, yep. These were the Miles Moraleses. This was the second pose. They struck a pose, and then when they said, second pose, Prowler Miles was whispering to the others, kick me, or like pummel me, and so he got onto the ground and they started dogging on him. And of course you have to do the pointing meme when you have a bunch of Spidey cosplayers. Yeah, that was fun. And man, this day flew by. It was just back-to-back panels and cosplay gatherings, so Marley and I went to Sofa Market again because she was feeling pizza. I grabbed a vermicelli bowl from the Thai place along with a Thai tea. Oh, this bowl was so good. Like, only canonically correct if Emo Peter is the center of attention. Yep, as he was. Yeah, Thai tea! The tea was good, but man, that spring roll on top of the bowl, I feel stupid, but I was expecting something like Panda Express level. No, this was so much better. It was filled with, like, perfectly cooked beef. Like strips of steak inside. It was still crunchy. Ugh, so good. Need to find places here that sell stuff like this. Hell yeah. I'm sure there's, like, Asian shopping centers or something over there. Yeah, the whole meal was great. I had this the last time I've been to Sofa Market with Naomi, but still hits the spot. Oh, you've seen Thai restaurants around San Antonio? Nice. I really like Thai food. I learned this fact after coming to San Jose. Vietnam's. Yeah, that's what this was. At least I think it was. Maybe I'm wrong. But I remember seeing the word noms a lot on the menu. After that, that was pretty much it for the convention center. Yeah, it's Sofa. Yes, it was Vietnam's. You're correct. It was not Thai, I guess. My bad. Good Indian places, and you want to eat the spicy. Ooh, I'm scared of Indian places, especially if it's like southern Indian. Oh man, do not underestimate the spices. But yeah, after dinner, Marley and I headed back to the hotel. Freshened up, got changed. I took off my cosplay, and we finally grabbed our badges and IDs and headed to the night market at Doubletree. Boba bar near the campus is great. There was also a really good Thai place near the grocery outlet. Ooh. I need to check that out. Oh yeah, so, me being innocent and oblivious, I didn't know what the night market was. I was like, maybe they have late night snacks or something. No, it turned out to be a porno market, so they had a bunch of 18 plus and explicit merch, dakiwakuras, like dick-shaped keychains and stuff. So that, yeah, night market. That's why they were checking ID at the entrance. And I obviously can't take pictures of that. So you get a nice photo of the little wristband that they were handing out for re-entry. What did I expect? I didn't know. I didn't know what to expect. This was my first night market I'd ever heard of at a con. I didn't even think they had adult goods. So I went in and we were like, oh, that's what this is. Oh, wow, your husband brought you here once. Wow. That's a sign of a green, that's a green flag marriage right there, looking at porno together. I gotta say though, this wristband was high quality. Like it felt just like the lanyard that I got for the con badge. He peeked in and walked out immediately. Aw. Well, that's fair, I guess. It did feel kind of awkward. Marley and I didn't stay for more than like 10 minutes either. Just did a couple laps. Didn't want to overwhelm Denishu, yeah. I can see that. You were too shy, that's okay. Next time you're camping out in there, please don't. Yeah, after that, it was still kind of light outside. This was like 7:30 maybe, so I took Marley over to the Italian ice place called Rita's, and we grabbed some dessert before we headed back to the hotel and refreshed for the rest of the day. Yeah, Sunday flew by. It was incredible how quick it went. So yeah, last day was Monday. Didn't have a whole lot scheduled because the only big thing that was happening was like the closing ceremony, and that was at 2. So Marley and I took our time getting ready and leaving and checking out the hotel. We did grab some breakfast at Paris Baguette again before heading to the convention center. Yeah, so I wanted to do some last minute shopping. Marley was trying real hard not to spend any more money. She failed. Spoiler alert. So at the vendor's room, I forgot to take pictures of the BART booth. So if you didn't know, the BART public transit in the San Jose Bay Area has anime mascots now, and so these are some of their characters. They had life-size pop-ups and that little train panel you can take pictures with. These were the other two. I actually really like that blue girl on the right. And of course they had BART merch at this table. I didn't bother looking at it, but I'm kind of glad they're expanding their character roster. I saw some of these characters being mentioned on like Bay Area news and on TikTok, but now they have like a full lineup. So good for them. I guess shit does sell. The little plush Bart keychains are cute. Oh, are they? Do you own any? If so, where did you get these? I'm actually curious. But yeah, I'm really glad we stopped by both the vendor's room and the artist's alley this day because it was so much easier to navigate without the crowd. And I noticed so many of the booths that were otherwise hidden from me because of the crowd. Like, I was like, oh my god, these people are here? Oh my god, this thing is here? Whoa, look at this. It was like rediscovering a whole new world. Friends sent a picture when they were at Fanime. Oh, cool. Yeah, I didn't take a close look at the merchandise, but maybe next year I will. Here's my haul for that day. Last minute shopping indeed. So those 3 posters on the left plus the Squid Sisters sticker. I'm gonna zoom in. Plus the Squid Sisters sticker and that's hard to say. And the Tinkaton keychain. Those were all from the same artist. I really love their stuff. I should have had their business card ready on me. But yeah, this Tinkaton keychain, it's double-sided, and so the front is the regular version, and on the back is the shiny version. It's so cute. I thought Leo might like that. You're not having this. This is for me though. I got the Calpico themed license plate cover. I can't resist anything Calpico. It's my favorite drink. And there's the 360 Smash Bros poster from a very famous artist here in the Bay Area. And the Cinnabon and Little Caesars parody t-shirts. They're so cute. That is... I forgot the exact name. I think it was Tech Tees or something, but they are... No, Calpico and Little Caesars are your favorites. Yeah, they're so good. I think it was Tech Tees that has these parody shirts. I saw them first on TikTok and I've been meaning to check out their website to buy something, but luckily I found their booth right by the entrance of the vendor's hall. I don't know how I missed them the other 2 days, but I'm glad I caught them. The Calpico frame, I think, was from a shop called Frog Tree. They had other brands too, like 7-Eleven, Lawson, I think White Rabbit, and like Strawberry Milk. So if you want some Asian-related brands, check that out. Was Milk and Mocha there? They were not. That would have been cute. They're little bears, right? Danish has been dying to get some merch from them. Aw. Yeah, they were not there as far as I saw. I think they're more of like a Chinese-based creator. There was, however, Omocat, the artist behind the Omori game. They had a collaboration with VTubers, apparently. I think it was Hololive. So they had some exclusive merch there. I kind of wanted to check that out. I forgot Marley and I checked the arcade again, hoping that maybe the line would be less tedious, but of course nothing else was going on at the con, so everybody was lined up to play some games, so we ended up not doing that still. So by the time it was noon, we were pretty much done with the event. I just took Marley to some boba shop for tea, milk tea. We also did a little bit of shopping at Kinokuniya bookstore. Had a bit of lunch at Fugetsu. And I also took her to Central Park in San Jose. I didn't include any photos, but yeah, we just killed several hours at the park chatting and soaking in the sun before I had to drop off at the airport. So, really chill Monday. Yeah, that was pretty much it. So I'm checking my notes for that vacation. But yeah, is that all I had to talk about? I think it was. All in all, I'm really glad I was able to attend this year. First con since the pandemic. And while there's been a lot of drama in the con community, like for example, OhioCon has been pretty much on the brink of collapsing. OhioCon happened this past January and almost nobody showed up because word got out that the CEO of OhioCon was treating volunteers really badly and prohibited them from unionizing and stuff, and people canceled their tickets in protest. So OhioCon has pretty much collapsed. Anime Expo last summer was very dangerously crowded, so that was taken pretty poorly. And specifically on TikTok, there have been really distasteful rumors going around about bad behaviors from specific cosplayers, but those turned out to be fake stories, like lies, just to grab attention on TikTok. So it's been reflecting poorly on the cons half, even though they did nothing wrong. So like, amidst all of this shit happening to cons across the country, I'm really glad FanimeCon held their ground, did a great job organizing and keeping things safe. I don't think I've had such a productive con since like 2008 in Anime Weekend, Atlanta. So, no community is safe without some drama. True. Where there's a community, there's bound to be some kind of bad apple to stir the pot. Also, I'm really glad Fanime loosened their COVID policies prior to this weekend. They were requiring masks like mandatory in some spaces of the convention center, but they really only had it mandatory for the karaoke room, the open mic karaoke room. Otherwise, it was only strongly recommended for those who wanted it. So, I think that was a great idea. But yeah, it was so much fun. I can't wait for my next con. And now that I feel more comfortable using my sewing machine, I'm hoping I can do fancier costumes. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I've been going for 3 hours. 2022 was mask always and needed an app to register your vaccines. Oh man. Yeah, thankfully they didn't track any vaccine records either, because that would have been a huge hassle, I think. It's nice having some sense of freedom back. Because I would have been kind of sad if I was in cosplay with a full face of makeup only to be hidden with a mask the whole time. That would have been kind of suffocating. Well, I think that's about it. I'm hoping to get back into my usual streaming schedule after next week. I still have yet to play Little Kitty Big City, so that's the one I'm hoping to stream. It'll be fun. I did buy Paper Mario, That's in Your Door. I pre-ordered that one, picked it up before Fanime, and I still haven't touched it, so I won't stream it, but I'm hoping to play it. Can't wait, it looks so good. Bring her back before 3 a.m. I can't even stay up past midnight, so no worries there. But yeah, like, and after Big City, Little Kitty Big City, I think maybe I could do some Great Ace Attorney, because I managed to get CB into the Ace Attorney franchise, so that'll be super fun. Can't do past 10 p.m. We're all so old. Sleeping at 10, waking up at 7. Got that corporate lifestyle. I don't think it's a bad thing, but makes you think sometimes. Alright, well, I shall edit this VOD, put it on my YouTube later. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys had fun looking at all the pictures and seeing my face IRL. Stay tuned for the next stream, I guess, and I'll see you real soon.